Hello everyone, this is Eliza. Welcome back to Eliza's Bookshelf. Today I want to do a mini review of this book. I just want to do a mini review about Simu's We Were Dreamers because I love this book so much. I think I wanted to showcase it on its own. This is kind of like an autobiography memoir type of book about how his family grew up, how he got over here to Canada, to America, and his journey getting out of a job he did not like and into his dream job, which is the first Marvel Asian superhero. Not bad. Okay, so I really love this book. I give it 5 out of 5 stars. I switch back and forth listening to the audiobook and reading the book because it's that good. Sometimes when I'm listening to an audiobook and I like it so much, I just pick up the book right afterwards, but I would definitely get both if you can, because the book itself has a lot of pictures. Actually, I think if you get the audiobook, he gives a link of where you can get the pictures too, but it's just a lot of pictures of how he grew up, his family, his mom, and things like that. It's super cute and so heartwarming. So he breaks it down into a couple of acts, 3 acts, I believe. The first act, we delve into his family history, his parents, how they met, their troubles growing up. I don't know, his family's just super awesome. But, it's a lot about them and how they came over to Canada. I did not know this about him, but he grew up in China for the first 4 years of his life, and then he was brought over to Canada by his parents. So it's a lot about that, and he says in the book that you can skip it if you want, but I definitely wouldn't. I don't know who would. Who would buy a book and just skip a third of it? But yeah, I loved it. And then we get into him growing up, like in grade school and college and things like that, or university over in Toronto. Yeah, so we get into that. There's a lot of pressures of what his family wants him to be, so he gets into this pathway that he doesn't necessarily like, but he's super ambitious. Well, sort of. You'll see. But he's like the top of the class sometimes. And and so he gets into this job. He's an accountant, and we all know that. It's not a spoiler. Well, if you follow him, if you are a fan, we know that he was an accountant and he was not really happy with his job. And then later on at the end, we kind of delve into his acting and how he got into that. He's a super hard worker, and it's just so inspiring to read about because I can empathize with where he came from or how he grew up with parents that want him to do a certain thing because they just want the best for you, but you're not necessarily happy with what they want. So I can, see or connect with that. But it's just so inspiring because he just works super hard to get where he wants, and it's gonna take a long time to get there. It's just so great to see that he got to where he wanted. I knew him from Kim's Convenience, and then I saw him in this Marvel movie, of course, that he's famous for. But I did not know that he had a lot of acting roles before then. He was on like Taken. He did a lot of plays back in Canada. So it's interesting for him to talk about how it is in Canada acting and how it is in America. There are some touching points where, he gets very emotional because he's talking about his grandparents that he missed back home in China. And so you can hear in his voice that he's cracking up. Or his voice is cracking up, and I try not to cry too. And I almost made it throughout the whole book without crying, but I was listening to the audiobook at work during my lunch break, and in the acknowledgments, oh man, I just started bawling. Like, he talked about his grandparents again, he talked about his dog, and then I started crying, just like bawling, and my coworker is next to me. I'm like, I hope she doesn't hear me. So yeah, it's a very touching book. It's very emotional at some parts, and it's very just inspiring. Just getting that message across, like, try to do what you want in life. Oh, there's that line that he said in there that obviously everyone knows, but it really resonates because if you love your work, you will not work a day in your life. And I think that is so true. So I really love this book. I feel like anyone can learn a lot of things from this book. It has a lot to do with like, just reconnecting with your parents too and getting their history because not everyone knows. And he did say in there, like, this is a reminder, just talk to your parents, get their story while you still have time. So that's a good reminder. Anyways, so just overall, I love this book. I wish I have not read it yet so I can read it again and have that first experience. But I usually don't reread memoirs or autobiographies, but I think this one I would, pick up every year or so and just reread again because I loved it that much. Yeah. I was so happy about this one. So let me know in the comments below if you guys like reading memoirs. If you have, what is your favorite? Because I've read other ones like from what's her name? Amy Poehler, Tina Fey. I've read, part of Obama's massive book, which I think is a part 1. He's gonna come out with a part 2. But anyways, thank you for sticking around for this mini review. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.